It has been quite some time since I've done an update pertaining to Brett Favre because there really hasn't been much coming out about him. They've been really keeping it under wraps. But this update was actually sent to me on Instagram by one of my subscribers, and shout out to that individual who sent this to me. Now you see two people in the picture. Of course, the one on the right is Brett Favre. Everyone knows who that is. But a lot of you may not have any clue who the person on the left is. This person's name on the left is named Anna Wolfe. If it wasn't for this woman right here, we wouldn't even know about what's been going on with Brett Favre and the misuse of those funds down there in Mississippi. Because this is the woman right here who was exposing, or the woman who exposed Brett Favre and what he was doing, which of course led to the unearthing of other people that were involved. And I think she was set to win, or did win, a Pulitzer Prize because I believe she wrote a book about it. And guess what ended up happening, y'all? She and her publishing company, or the company she works with, are under some scrutiny where she could possibly face jail time. Yes, you heard that correctly. The woman who exposed Brett Favre is the one that's looking at jail time, and not Brett Favre himself. Keep this in mind, y'all. This has been out about Brett Favre for the last few years now, and he is still yet to be charged with anything. There are people around him who have been hit with some charges, but he, even with all the proof that they have on him, has still yet to be charged. So let me go ahead and get into this article coming from amp.marca.com. The reporter who blew the lid off of Mississippi's multi-million-dollar welfare scandal implicating none other than Pro Football Hall of Famer Brett Favre is now staring down the barrel of a prison sentence herself. Yes, Anna Wolfe, the tenacious journalist who snagged the Pulitzer Prize for her relentless pursuit of truth, might be swapping her keyboard for a cell. This jaw-dropping turn of events comes courtesy of former Governor Phil Bryant, who has filed a civil lawsuit against Wolfe and her editor Adam Ganuccio. NBC News reports that the duo has been ordered to cough up internal documents, names of confidential sources, and all, but Wolfe and Ganuccio aren't budging, setting the stage for a showdown that could land them behind bars for contempt. So this is coming by way of the governor, Phil Bryant, who was a name that has come up several times when I talked about Brett Favre in the past. And in case y'all are unaware, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Phil Bryant is related to Carolyn Bryant. Yes, that's Carolyn Bryant. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Bryant, perhaps feeling the sting of exposure, is crying defamation against Mississippi Today, the outlet responsible for the expose. He claims he's been wrongfully painted as a criminal. Favre, meanwhile, has been busy in court too, slapping defamation suits on Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharpe, both of which have been dropped because there was nothing there. Though Favre's spat with McAfee ended with a handshake rather than a settlement, his reputation is still nursing a few bruises. Let's rewind a bit. Wolfe's reporting unearthed a stunning misuse of $77 million in federal funds, money meant for Mississippi's neediest citizens. Instead, Favre, who hasn't been charged with a crime, is accused of funneling $5 million to his alma mater for a new volleyball stadium, $2.1 million into a drug company where he held stock, and pocketing $1.1 million for phantom promotional work. And here's the kicker. Not a single person has been jailed over this massive welfare scheme, yet the reporter who exposed it all could be the first. It's the kind of irony that makes your head spin. Wolfe herself summed it up perfectly in an interview with NBC. If one of us goes to jail, we will be the first person to go to jail in the Mississippi welfare scandal. How can I make promises to sources that I'm going to keep them confidential if this is possible? Mississippi Today is fighting the court order in the state Supreme Court, but unless they win, Wolfe and Ganuccio are staring at contempt charges. Imagine that. The heroes of this story, who dragged the murky conspiracy into the light, might end up paying the heaviest price. So Brett Favre remains free. The money trail still reeks, and the reporter who's shown a spotlight on the right could be the one taking the fall. If this were a novel, you'd toss it aside for being too far-fetched. That is some wild stuff right there. So because she and the team she's working with won't give up these documents with the proof that they have of how they expose them, because they give that stuff up, that they'll do whatever they want with it. And see, so it's really all coming from Governor Phil Bryant. He's the one that wants these documents because he's scared that he's going to be in them. Well, the thing is, I don't know why he's scared about it, because we looked at the text messages. Like last year or a couple years ago, all of it got exposed just with the text messages. So it's like, why are they even trying to even go this route? Because you make yourself look even more guilty. And see, the thing is, by them keeping this out of the spotlight the way that they have been doing, this again continues to allow people like Brett Favre to continue to get away with this unscathed. It's not a lot of people that are keeping up with this. I feel, and not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm one of the only ones that's still continuing to talk about this. Like, the only reason y'all haven't heard me talk about it in a while until now is because there really hasn't been any reports on it. Trust me, I check about weekly. I just type Brett Favre's name in and see if anything comes up. This is one of the first bigger things that have come up since then, but unfortunately, the person who's in the hot seat is the person who exposed them. I'm like, could you make yourself look any more guilty? Really? They want to lock up the person who exposed them, but because they won't hand over these documents that they have that proves that they were the ones that did this. And said, if you don't hand them over, we're going to hold you in contempt. Well, I hope that this Anna Wolfe and this Ganucho guy don't give up the documents. If they have to do a little bid, hey, at least they can say they they stood on their square and didn't fold. And it looks to me like that they're not going to hand it over. So, but at the end of the day, I think this is a straight up bully tactic for sure by Phil Bryant, because he doesn't want to be implicated in all of this, even though there's proof there that he's involved. That's messed up though, all the way around. So that's the latest update with this whole Brett Favre thing. Who knows when the next one's going to be? I wouldn't be surprised if they stand on this square and don't hand over those documents. The next update is going to be that they actually did go and arrest her and her partner. That's wild. For me, this is what it all boils down to. I believe that in the documents that this woman has, this Anna Wolfe journalist has, is the name of the person of who basically put out that information pertaining to Brett Favre. So it's probably someone Brett Favre and Phil Bryant even know, because that's the only way I could think about it, or unless it's somebody who just stumbled across it and they just put it out there and she gave them confidence that she would never put out their name, and she held on to it for so long and they found out she has it, and now they want it from her, and now they're basically threatening to arrest her and put her in jail because she won't play ball and give them the name, because then they can end up going after that person, and then that could open up her to possibly a lawsuit, because I'm sure if there was some kind of a agreement signed, she could get sued. So it's like a no-win situation. Really, when you think about it, Phil Bryant and what he's doing in this whole situation, might as well throw Brett Favre in there too, are acting like the mob when it comes to this. And I guess they figure, oh, if we threaten her with jail time, then we can get access to those documents, find out who it is, and then go after them. I wouldn't put it past them if that's what it came to. Like I tell you, what do we call these individuals? Politicians. Let's not sit back and pretend like this kind of stuff doesn't go on.